Welcome, wonderful people, to the Sunday card and rune reading. And guys, I need to just say I owe you an apology because, as you can see, the cards are here, the runes are here. We have a variety of ingredients. Now, this is really interesting because I know that these are the cards and the runes to be drawn today. And I have actually filmed the drawing of them all, as always. But basically, it is very, very early here in the UK. Sometimes I wake up and I'm in that space and I just know that I'm to read now. And as you can see, I'm still in my pyjamas, which some of you have already noticed on occasions before. And do you know, I got up and I had prepared because when I woke up, there was a whole story going on around my day yesterday and the energy that's come with me into these readings today. And I need to say magnificent, fabulous energy. And these wonderful ingredients, we have white sage, we have sweetgrass, and we have cedar. All of which have very different sort of energetic qualities that they are bringing to these three readings. So I had set myself up with all the ingredients and I had talked you through all of this. I'd actually spent time drawing the cards. I know a lot of you like to, and you've said you really enjoy that. I will post that up in a moment as well so you can tune in with it. But basically I'd forgotten to switch the microphones on. So there was no sound at all. Even though I had videoed, you would just see lots of hand movements and pointing to these various herbs. Well, herbs, they're not strictly speaking herbs. Cedar is not a herb, and I think white sage is actually considered to be a shrub. And obviously sweetgrass is a grass. But nevertheless, the energies of them, I had done my whole talk about it, so just to connect you in with the energies here. And as I said, I then realised, having drawn all the cards, that the microphone wasn't plugged in and therefore you would hear nothing. I don't want to do that again because I know that these are the cards and the runes to be used today. What I will do is I'll maybe put a bit of music on or something. And for those of you that wish to sit with and see the cards being drawn, I will play that bit of the video. I'll put that bit of the video up with maybe a little bit of music or maybe some birdsong. I have recorded the birdsong, the morning chorus, in my garden. It's amazing. I have a lot of birds that visit here. And I'll maybe put that birdsong alongside it so you can still sit and see the cards being drawn, getting us to this point where we are now. But, as I said, my apologies, wonderful people. And I will now talk you through the additional ingredients that we have. It's what it feels like today. So apologies over. Guys, welcome. Welcome to those of you who are already a part of this amazing community, and welcome to those of you who are new. Now, anyone that's new, do please check out the information box because I put an awful lot of resources into the world. I do weekly readings, monthly readings. I give away a free private reading every month. I will be making the announcement of the winner of February's free private reading this afternoon, so that should be posted today. The Art of Manifestation Oracle cards. I am giving away a pack of these as well. They are almost ready to be birthed into the world. For those of you who are following their progress, you'll be hearing from me again over the next week. And anyone who is new to these cards, if you're interested in them as the readings unfold, if there is an email list these aren't at the moment the only pack in existence. If you're interested in them, do put yourself on the email list and I can update you, let you know when they are birthing into the world. And if you're on that list, you will also have an opportunity to pre-order a pack at a discounted rate. So obviously do just check things out. But anyway, enough waffle. Let's tune in to the energy of these three readings. The first one, the energy around here is of white sage. Now, white sage is it's used for purification. It removes negativity, it releases negativity. This room is very saged up, I can tell you. I was burning it when I started earlier and didn't have the microphone on. So really, really lovely energy, wonderful scent, brilliant obviously when you're smudging. I often undo my smudge sticks and burn smaller pieces because they're big. So releasing negativity, I want to say almost repelling negativity. Sweetgrass, very interesting flow of energy as we move through these, because sweetgrass actually invites positivity. There's a sort of a difference between releasing negativity and cleansing and inviting positivity and drawing it to you. So sweetgrass is an invitation of positivity. When we burn it, it's got a wonderful sort of vanilla scent. It's known as grandmother's hair as well sometimes, but really lovely, peaceful energy. Kindness is what I'm really hearing as well, kindness. And then cedar. If we burn cedar, cedar is a very grounding energy. If somebody's a bit all over the place, then cedar is a wonderful energy to use around them, maybe to keep a little sachet with you if you're feeling a bit all over the place. Cedar's very, very grounding. So we've got a removing negativity, drawing in positivity, and then grounding ourselves. I also, if you think of the combination, quite like to use the three together if I'm wanting to cleanse myself in terms of manifestation, because manifestation involves not only kind of visioning in the things we want, but we also have to take action. If a doorway's opened for us, we have to walk through it. So there's something for me about using cedar in a way that allows me to connect dreams to reality. That's the sort of flavour of that. Very relevant, I think, all three, given that tomorrow we have the full moon, super full moon in Virgo. So we can really pay attention. Virgo, often the moon in Virgo invites us to pay attention to the details, cross the T's, dot the I's, to be thorough in the things that we're doing. And the full moon is a wonderful time for releasing any obstacles within us, any energy blocks, in order to cleanse and move ourselves forwards, particularly again for those of you that are working with the cycles of the moon in manifestation. So I think these readings are all actually very tuned in. You may find yourself already drawn to one. You may find yourself drawn to more than one. Sometimes I know for some people, and certainly for myself, it's a combination of more than one that contains the messages that I'm needing to hear. So wonderful, people. I am going to sign off from this part of the recording. I will attach some birdsong to the bit where I'm drawing the cards with no sound recorded. So for those of you that really like to sit with me while I'm drawing the cards, you'll be able to tune into them. And then we will move to the readings. The timestamps are in the comments. If anyone actually can tell me how on earth to get timestamps that work in the information box, that would be amazing. I can't seem to be able to do it, but I can do it in the comments. So I will put a comment and pin it at the top of the comments. So if you're wanting to just fast forward to the readings, you can do so. So wonderful, people. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much as well for those of you who are already a part of this amazing community. Thank you for being a part of this journey. So much love to you. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments and subscribing. You are just amazing. Thank you for your support of me, and thank you for your support of this channel and of one another as well. And anyone new, welcome. It is really, really lovely that you're here, and namaste. So wonderful people, this is the time in the video when we pause and take our time to tune in to our intuition. So we have reading number 1, governed by the energy of white sage, cleansing, releasing negativity. Really wonderful, wonderful energy. We then have the energy of sweetgrass for reading number 2. Kindness is what I'm really hearing. Very gentle, very warm, very loving, inviting positivity, welcoming positivity into our lives. Then we have Cedar, the energy of Cedar, very grounded in terms of manifesting. There's something very earthy about this particular energy coming off here in reading number 3. So you may wish to pause the video. You may already know which of the readings you are tuned into, whether it's 1, 2 or 3 or a combination of more than one. So wonderful people, namaste. Welcome to reading number 1. Let's turn over our cards. We have the Queen of Air. We'll do our runes as well. We have the rune of partnership. We have the rune of wholeness, and we have the rune of defense. It's an interesting combination. Let's see what else we have. Okay, Page of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Hermit. We have, wow, you have a lot of aces around you here. We have the 2 of Wands, we have the 10 of Cups, and we have the Ace of Wands. So we got Believe in the Impossible. This is a very interesting reading, wonderful people. Walk Away, New Love, Independence. Okay, this is really very interesting. Let's move these along. Where are we going to place our cards? So that we have everything, I think everything, because we're on a wide angle lens, I think, on the camera today, or on my phone, which is what I'm using. We should be able to see everything. Okay. This is really interesting. So, first of all, I'm going to start with this rune. We have the rune of partnership. Now, the rune of partnership is, I mean, sometimes it's speaking about a business partnership, sometimes it's speaking about an intimate partnership. One way or the other, it's speaking about relationship to one other person. That's what I'm really connecting in with. It's not a group of people, one other person. We have the rune of wholeness. This is the path you must follow. And we have the rune of defense. Now, defense is... The rune of defense speaks of, it's like we start to develop an aversion to things that don't resonate with us. Just connecting in with the sage, the white sage, releasing negativity, cleansing ourselves, removing any blocks within us. Now, I feel like this has 2 directions here, and it's curious because they're simultaneous. So, I want you just to connect in with, we have a card of walk away, we have new love, we have independence. There's something around you guys in your own unique ways, but there's the energy of this reading is about navigating relationship, and it's navigating relationship from a position of healthy interdependence. And some of you, I think, are navigating something that's quite tricky in a relationship. Others are actually coming out of one relationship because you're needing to be in another one. I mean, there is quite a parallel going on here. You're either navigating, it's almost like the contract of a relationship. You're either navigating that and reorganizing it and realigning it. So you're coming from a space where things have been difficult, but you're moving through it. Or you're moving from a challenging situation and you're needing to move from something that isn't right to something that is right for you. There's definitely this energetic shift here. The Page of Swords, for me, it's like it's that card of what I would call gossip, pettiness, stuff that I think as we walk the pathway of spiritual warriors, this is the stuff that we start to develop an aversion to. You know, the kind of backstabbing pettiness, the people who haven't got anything better to do with their time, that kind of stuff. There's something of that energy around, but you're moving away from it. It may even be, actually, that some of you are, I think you're stepping up and you're growing into, this is the path you must follow, you're growing into a newer version of you, a bigger, better version of you, a version of you that is much more in alignment with, I would say, the calling of your soul, your true nature. That's what I want to say. You are growing into a you that is in alignment with your true nature, really hearing that. And this kind of stuff doesn't resonate with you. And you're moving beyond it. There are new opportunities here. But it's like you're coming home to yourselves. You're growing from the inside out. And there are certain things that just don't actually sit with you anymore. You have a greater degree of insight and wisdom than you have ever had before. And I think you are seeing a situation through a very different lens. There's an evaluation going on. But you know, the interesting thing is, I also think you know what you want in terms of your ongoing contentment and happiness. There's definitely a new beginning here, and yet it's almost as though you have to, there's a real energy shift here. It's like you're having to move from one thing into, and to let go of something, to walk away from something in order to then really, really allow yourselves to receive and to manifest that which you truly desire. The opportunity is here for new beginnings. 2 aces. Ace of Pentacles, very grounded. You are kind of slightly called to take some action here, I think. Ace of Wands, a real burst of creative energy, of passion. It's kind of, I think for some of you guys, I think your passion has been lit. And whatever or the way you have been living, or for some of you, I think there is literally, you're moving out of a relationship in order to move to a new one. Or you are navigating the way a relationship was and you're needing to up its game because otherwise it's not resonating with you. There's this sort of shift going on. But it's really interesting because it's a lovely shift. It's very alive. This is a very passionate, alive. I mean, my fingers are tingling. The energy in my hands is tingling. Let me just speak about this card of independence. Independence is a wonderful attribute, but if taken to an extreme, it can border on isolation. Sometimes if we've been hurt or let down or trapped in a codependent relationship, we lose faith in others and learn only to rely on ourselves. This card calls you to question this inner belief and to develop healthy interdependent relationships with an equality of both giving and receiving. This is the shift. New love, the energy of new love is around you. I have to say, I know this rune indicate business partnerships, but I feel for you guys, this reading is about intimacy. It's about love. The energy of new love is around you. Sometimes if we've been hurt within relationship, we retreat, afraid of being hurt again. This card brings a clear message and is an indication of your readiness to embrace love and to begin a new relationship. It is safe to reach out. We also have the card of walk away. Walk away from this situation. When we face a challenging or unhealthy situation, it can be hard to let go and move on. Sometimes we stay in the hope that someone else will change, or perhaps we are so fearful of the unknown that we remain in the safety of a known and yet toxic situation. This card validates your entitlement to leave. I think for some of you guys, this is literally leaving a situation that isn't okay, or a relationship it's almost like you're tolerating. That's the word I'm hearing. And actually, but I think somebody has kind of lit your fire. There's a spark around you. I can really feel that excitement. And, it's almost like daring yourself to believe that you can have more, better. For some of you, it's navigating a shift within an existing relationship, but with the recognition that something is not resonating with you. For others, the shift is actually away from a space where you have literally only, it's almost like you've retreated. And sometimes we do that within relationships too, where even though we're in a relationship, we're kind of not really in it because we're so self-contained, you know, that we got hurt too much to really allow ourselves to consider the possibility of something that would be that which we really desire. This Ten of Cups is wonderful. This is all about contentment, family, relationship, connection. The two, you're definitely leaving something behind here. Whether that is an attitude within you or a block to allowing yourself to believe you can truly have that which you desire within relationship, you know, a healthy relationship of interdependence. For some of you, as I said, I think there's a genuine leaving something behind in terms of a someone. You're doing so because it's not right for you. They don't resonate with you. You're not connecting at a level of soul, and the energy of new love is around you. I think you are. I think you recognize that. It's interesting, the card of the Hermit. I always think it's got a flavor around you know, your vibe attracts your tribe. And, you know, that sort of flavour of when we ourselves shift, our relationships also shift. There's a lovely book called The Dance of Anger by Harriet Golder Lerner, I think. There's a connection on the book and card page where you can find all of the cards that I use and various books that I reference. She speaks about relationships as a dance. And she says, you know, actually, ultimately, we dance the same steps. Even if you're in a relationship that's not working for you, something in you is, you're dancing those steps, you're buying into it. Maybe it's where you've come from, it's your history in some way. And she says what happens when one person starts to grow more than the other one, they change their steps. And for a little while, a lot of toes get trodden on. And, you know, what will happen is that either the other person will shift and change their steps to join you, or the relationship parts company because you're no longer compatible. You're not in alignment with one another. And that's the flavour here. You guys are ready to step up. That's what I'm really hearing. New love is around you. Something has been sparked. Whether you are walking away from a pattern within yourself that has limited your own belief in your own horizons, or whether you are walking away from someone who has not been particularly good for you, or whether you are stepping into a space where you are leading the relationship to higher ground. There is an energetic shift in relationship, and you guys are the leaders of this. You have the insight, the awareness. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I love the card of the Hermit. It always feels for me as if we've come home to ourselves, and the shift is from within. And also, I always feel it's kind of like, you know, when you are on your own, enjoy being on your own, and when you're with people, enjoy being with people. It's sort of trust that the right people will find one another. They'll come together. And it feels as though that possibility is very much around you. It's about being with the right person and shifting that relationship into a space where this kind of petty, gossipy stuff it's not working for you guys anymore. So, yeah, very interesting times. And yeah, what a wonderful shift to be taking place around the full moon, the super full moon tomorrow in Virgo. A shift where you get to let go of something and invite and welcome something new into your world. Wonderful people, namaste. Welcome to reading number 2. Have a look at our runes first. We have the rune of nourishment. We have the rune of the warrior, the spiritual warrior energy. And we have the rune of protection. That's interesting. The rune of nourishment often speaks of unexpected surprises, rewards, gains. The spiritual warrior and protection. For me, that combination is very much about, I want to sort of say, like getting out of our own way, you know, like when your head gets in the way of your heart. that's the kind of flavour. Let's look at the cards and see what else we have. Okay, so we have the Four of Air. Lovers, Knight of Wands, Two of Swords. There's some decision making going on here. What do we have? Be bold and make the first move. That's interesting. Page of Cups. Another four, again, Four of Wands. And five. Let's see where we can place our cards so we have enough room for everything. Learn to say no, self-care, the cycles of the moon. There is decision making going on here. Actually, I want to place these this way around. It doesn't really make too much difference in terms of these particular cards. They're very much more often, although they bring guidance in their own right, they very often kind of almost like rubber stamp the message that's already being spoken about within the cards. You're facing a decision in some way. That's what I'm really hearing. Now, unexpected rewards, gains, surprises. I want to sometimes say that sometimes gain comes through in the form of loss in some way. But there's some kind of a conflict or something that you're not sure about, or you're reticent about something. That's what I'm hearing. There's actually a very lovely energy of moving something forwards here. There is an invitation for you to make a decision. It's almost as though you've got in a tangle within yourself and you're needing to untangle it. You're needing to make sense of something in some way. Some kind of a situation is stopping you. In fact, actually, I'm kind of getting quite a clear message through here. It's as though the saying no to yourself. So this is quite interesting. Saying no is an act of love. When we say a healthy no to an abusive situation, whether this is in response to another person or to ourselves, we are setting limits and we're establishing healthy boundaries. You know, no is a boundary. A healthy no is saying yes to life. Give yourself permission to say no. Self-care. Self-care is not an act of selfishness, it is an act of consciousness. This card invites you to prioritise your own self-care. This may feel selfish to you, but in truth, when you attend to your own needs with love and care, you create an inner wealth that radiates into the world, impacting positively on all that you come into contact with. Let's just connect in with the sweetgrass. We invite positivity into our lives. I feel as though you guys, there is a decision to be made, but it's almost as though, and for some of you, that decision is almost about giving yourselves permission to prioritise yourselves. It's almost as though there is a conflict around, literally around your needs, and it's some sort of circumstances around you that are almost, I feel as though it's like you're being asked. It's like there's this reading feels like an invitation to allow yourselves to receive. There's an energy around you of someone wanting to give to you, and it's as though you're blocked from that. Now, to have the Four of Air and the Four of Wands, it's like there's an opportunity here for you to receive, and this is this getting out of your own way. So what I'm really wanting to talk to you about, and it's coming through really clearly here, is it's almost like there's a conflict between, it's like the conflict is actually within you in terms of, it's you giving yourself permission. Something is wanting to give to you, somebody's wanting to give to you, or the universe is wanting to give to you. Somewhere inside you, you can't quite allow yourself to have something, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, it'll be different for each of you. But there's a lovely energy around this sort of invitation to receive, inviting positivity into your life. And sometimes it's like those mental blocks we have in our head that stop us from being able to receive. It's almost like energetically we block ourselves from receiving. We can't quite allow ourselves to see that something could be resolved or moved on, moved beyond. The conflict, as far as I can see here, is actually within you rather than without. And even though there are choices to be made, it's like really give yourself permission to do what's right for you. That's really what I'm hearing. It's so clear in terms of the message coming through. Be bold, make the first move. You can have, that's what I'm wanting to say. This is really interesting, the cycles of the moon. This card invites you to attune yourself with the rhythms of the moon. Notice how the phases of the moon affect your energy and learn to use these energetic shifts within you to enhance your capacity to be consciously co-creative in all aspects of your life. Super full moon in Virgo. Tomorrow. I say that because you might be watching this later in the week, of course. So, but I'm doing this reading today on Sunday, the 8th of March. So, super full moon in Virgo tomorrow. It's like if there's an energetic shift to take place here, it's you giving yourselves permission. Allow yourself to have. There's something really powerful here. It's something is wanting to move forwards, and it's, you know, it's head and heart as well. This getting out of your own way, it's literally you're being asked to nourish yourselves, allow yourselves to receive. Yeah, I can't really say too much more than that. It's so clear. You are being asked, and the bit you're leaving behind, the bit you're leaving behind is anything that blocks you from receiving positivity. It's like letting go of a mental attitude and allowing yourself. It literally is this invitation to receive. Get out of your own head. If any part of you is stopping you from being able to to step into a position where it is you that's needing to step forwards as well. But there are people around you wanting to give to you, or there's the energy, as I said, whether it's the universe or somebody, and you're needing to make a decision, and it's your decision that allows that kind of incoming positivity to come to you. Somewhere along the line, and that I am seeing, it's like there's a... And I am being shown, it's like a road going backwards, going ways. This for me goes back to childhood as far as I can see. It's a pathway going back where somehow something got taken away from you, or you're not allowed to have something, or you've gained some kind of inner belief that says nothing can ever really fully materialize for me. And you're saying no to that history does not belong to you anymore. It's not yours to carry. That's also like a decisive decision to make. It's really giving yourself permission to have. Yeah, I can say no more on this one, definitely. Wonderful people, namaste. Yeah, be bold, make the first move, reach out, allow yourselves to receive. Let go of any attitudes or beliefs within you that are holding you back. And what a time to do it with that wonderful full moon energy in Virgo. Wonderful time to attend to your self-care. Really, really is. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. We have the rune of initiation. We have the rune of joy, and initiation is in reverse. This is like a rite of passage. The rune of joy, lovely. Out of darkness into light, renewed clarity. It's a fruit-bearing rune, carried across the gap by the wings of heaven. Wonderful energy. And we have the rune of movement, the bettering of any situation. Let's have a look at our cards, see where we are. We have the 2. This is interesting because this can sometimes involve jealousy or a challenge within relationship. Sometimes it speaks of collaboration. It's a dual sort of energy. We can be really working really well and in collaboration with someone, or it can sometimes indicate a challenge within relationship. As I said, sometimes an aspect of jealousy. Okay, so we have 2 of Wands. Interesting. In reverse. would suggest some kind of a conflict. I wonder if this is with our initiation rune in a reverse position. However, there's going to be a shift here. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. Yeah, I'm going to say I think whatever's going on around you guys, you're going to come through this. There is about to be an energy shift. Yeah, here we go. A personal issue reaches resolution. Page of Swords, Page of Pentacles. I feel like, guys, again, this feels quite relationship orientated. It's as though you're needing to make a choice and move something forwards. There is some aspect of either competition with somebody, competition between you and another person, or it could be a competition between almost like your life-work balance, or maybe you feel you've been, I'll just say, taken on too much and you're trying to juggle too many things. There's some aspect of competition going on around, and for some of you it could be more than one person in your world, more than one person around you, or you could be facing a dilemma within you about something. Here we go. Miracles. New beginnings. Open yourself to possibility. Absolutely. There's a real energy shift here. Beautifully attuned, I want to say, in terms of the sort of the space we are with the full moon, the super full moon tomorrow. I am realising as I'm saying this, of course, that you guys might be touching base with this reading later on in the week or even at a later date. I do put the Sunday rune and card readings into a playlist, so you can find them easily. And you know, if one isn't speaking to you or you're just needing some insight, you're going to find one somewhere that does speak. But excuse me. There's a kind of a dilemma. It's like you're not quite sure which way to go with something. It does reach a resolution. I think you've been overloaded by something, or there is some kind of, it's not exactly a conflict. It doesn't feel like a driven conflict. It's like a choice in some way. And I don't think you've been quite sure which way to go, or something hasn't been moving itself forwards. There's been some sluggishness, but there's actually purpose to it. Whatever the delay, whatever's been going on, there was actually a bigger purpose to it. That's what I'm really hearing. So let's just connect in with the energy of Cedar, the groundedness. So there's something about this process of manifestation, something coming to fruition. Fruit-bearing rune. The rune of movement is always the bettering of any situation. It's always about things moving forwards. It's the flow of beings into their new form. It's the emergence. It's the emergence. It's like coming out of a chrysalis state and emerging afresh and new. I think whatever has been stuck around you, it's going to shift. Now, for some of you, it feels quite. This energy, very interesting energy around the cedar. I think whatever it is, there's something quite pragmatic going on, and there's either been a delay or a hold-up or a challenge, or you haven't been quite sure which way to go, or the way hasn't really been terribly clear. You've had uncertainty around which way to go. This is going to resolve itself. This is coming. There's an energy shift and it comes through. You may need to have some evaluation. There may need to be a bit of evaluation around. It's almost like working out your priorities, but also being open to possibilities. So let me connect in with these cards. So miracles. We tend to perceive miracles only when our personal desires are met. And yet, when we look back, almost all of us will be able to recall a crisis or a challenge that ultimately proved to be a miraculous turning point and an extraordinary gift. This card asks you to see the miracles that surround you right now and in every situation. Whatever it is, I think it does shift. And I think actually whatever's been going on, you get to see that it's like that silver lining, you know, when after the event we can see that there was something really helpful that happened. It just didn't feel like it at the time. New beginnings. This card indicates that you are about to begin a new chapter of your life. Excuse me. It's because I've been burning so much sage. It's actually quite smoky in here, and my voice is now slightly... I might have to go and get some water. My apologies. Let me get back to this card. This card indicates that you are about to begin a new chapter of your life. Shed, release, and cleanse. Let go of any obstacles, inner or outer, that prevent you from engaging fully in moving forwards. The time is right for a fresh start and a new beginning. The universe supports you in your growth. Open yourself to possibility. Almost everyone holds some limiting beliefs about themselves. These perceptions block us from receiving the infinite support of the universe. This card is an invitation to reassess and look beyond these limitations, and to recognize that in opening yourself to possibility, you automatically invite positive change into your life. This is very much about manifestation. There's something quite pragmatic about the energy here, and it does shift. The key to this rite of passage, this transition, this initiation, in part, it's actually because you guys are worrying about it. You know, like when we worry about something. So, and I've spoken about this before in some of the other readings. If we think about a prayer, when we sit down, let's say you pray for something that you desire, you pray for a miracle. When you pray, it's a focused piece of thought. It's an intention. When we set our intentions, if we're very active in wanting to be consciously manifesting the things that we desire in our world, then, you know, when we set intentions, it's a focused thought. But when we worry about something and we get really stressed about it, that's also focused thought. It's just that what we are focusing on is the thing that we don't want rather than the thing that we do want. So kind of in terms of the art of manifestation, in terms of the law of attraction, you know, we need to acknowledge the decisions that we need to make. We need to acknowledge any conflicts and any challenges, but because otherwise we can't resolve them. But we don't want to overthink in a way that we're focusing constantly on the worry of something, because it slows down that process of transition. And in terms of something pragmatically shifting here, it does feel like there is a shift. There's a shift from something that's been, I almost want to say, doing your head in, to something that becomes a bit more liberated. Really enjoying the energy here of the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. There is this shift, and the three, we begin to see something move forward. Something begins to emerge. Definitely this, fruit-bearing rune, wonderful. So something shifts for you guys. It does create a new beginning. A personal issue reaches resolution. So there is a wonderful shift, but I feel as though it definitely affects something quite pragmatic in your lives around you, whether it's home, family, work, and career, or whatever it is. Could be relationship, one way or the other. There is an energy shift. As we come through March, there is an energy shift as well. I really need to say this. I will be doing an energy update over the next couple of days. And so, again, guys, if you're wanting to tune into that and you want notification, do make sure you're subscribed and you press the little bell icon too. That way you'll get notification of any of the new readings, any of the new postings. There's a huge energy shift coming during March. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to be moving from that space where maybe things have been a little bit stuck or not moving forwards. You know, we're still in the Mercury retrograde phase, so things haven't been shifting as fast as we would like them to sometimes, but there's always, again, meaning and purpose to this. If there's a delay, it's because we are needing to discover something or learn something or course correct or do something slightly differently. But that energy is coming to an end, and there will be a shift as we move through March. So as I said, I'll speak about that in the energy update. But, wonderful people, new beginnings, miracles around you. Open yourself to possibility. I'm loving the rune of joy and the rune of movement. And yeah, this wonderful energy of transition and this shift. But it does feel as though it's something quite pragmatic around you that's going to take place. So wonderful, people. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, and namaste. Have a wonderful week.